Is twin flame a puzzle to be solved? So today I really had to take up this video. Today I really had to take up this discussion because nowadays I don't know why, but I have been coming across a whole lot of cringe content on internet regarding twin flames, and all I'm doing all this while is don't recommend me this channel, don't recommend me this channel, don't recommend me this channel, don't recommend me. And all I'm doing on internet is just that. Okay. And I felt like this topic needs to be taken, this topic needs to be dealt with, this topic needs to come up. Is twin flame a puzzle to be solved? Because there are many people out there. I mean, there's a whole lot of misinformation rather than information, or rather than true wisdom, I would say. In spirituality, when we come on the path of spirituality, we avoid information, we look for wisdom, right? We work for wisdom. Wisdom is like all connecting, all pervasive, it's very interconnected. But information is very one-sided at times, right? So what do? We look for wisdom, right? We want to go for wisdom. So I don't know what's happening, but yeah, I felt like there are less number of people who are really talking, who are really trying to really do the work, who are really trying to make sense, who are, the genuine, authentic people on the spiritual journey, and everything. But then there are people who I don't know. I mean, there was somebody I was seeing on YouTube, and I felt that okay, this person is very genuine, very authentic, and has really experienced a twin flame journey, and he really knows what it is, because you just know it, right? You intuitively just know who are the people who have been on the path and who are not on the path, right? If you yourself have been on the path. If you yourself have never been on the path, you should just never get into this content ever, because it's not your path. Why would you want to come here? By the way, if it's not your video, you should not watch this. Okay? You shouldn't watch this video because it's not your path, right? But even if you're watching, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with people. But yeah, so I was just looking at, yeah, this person was really authentic, and I thought that okay, he's been really on the journey. But then I don't know, when did it become about union? I don't get it. Why did twin flame journey, or when did twin flame journey become about union? Like, when was it about union ever? Union is just one piece of the puzzle, and they are being on a twin flame journey has a really higher purpose. It's like when you separate, it's not like any other 3D relationship. It's not like any other relationship that I'll find out in 3D, right? I'm not completely denying you should just not. Of course, union is also important part of the journey. Right? And yeah, and then there are people, oh god, and then there are people who are asking then there are people, इससे ही पता चलता है कि how you are not you are living in your bubble, my dear. इससे ही पता चलता है. People are really asking, I have we've come into union, now what to do next? Oh god, these people must be so empty that I don't know what to do next, right? You have to really ask. I don't know. You always know what to do next. I mean, of course, a twin flame has to get awakened, twin flame counterparts have to get awakened on the journey. Until they're awakened, of course, they are of course little confused and hazy and everything. Once they awaken, they know what it is, right? Yeah, so I don't know what's happening, and it just makes me, I don't know, it just makes me say the truth more. You cannot really fight these lies. They will prevail. They will have their own commercialization. Then they will have oppressors, and then they would be victims, and the whole market will work on the names of twin flame journey. That will be there. You cannot fight these lies, but what you can do is you can really speak up the truth. And the problem is, the more people really speaking up the truth don't have followers, right? People were really trying to speak up the truth. The people who are really on the, to really, because they are speaking bitter truth. That's the problem. They are speaking the truth of the journey. Nobody wants to buy that. Okay. So, then people get stuck into all these things, which they are not. They're so distracted from their own path, from their own normal life as well. Yeah. So, twin flame is not a puzzle to be solved at all. Union is just one part of the puzzle, and there is such a big purpose to twin flames, to twin flame journey, right? When they separate for a purpose, for a divine purpose. When they come together, they come into union, it's gonna be for a divine purpose. It's not like any other relationship at all. It's now universe flowing through them. Okay. It's not ego-based relationship. It's not a 3D based connection, right? It's so much more than that, right? Yeah. And union was never the point. Union was never the point. Ever. Why am I saying this? Because for 20 years of my life, while I was growing up, my life was stagnant. My life wasn't flowing. The feminine inside me just never felt safe to come out. And I've seen that boredom, that frustration, that stagnancy. I've experienced it. So when my feminine started to flow out, I knew this is it. This is what I want from my life, and nothing else matters. I always want to flow, grow up, move into the direction of growth, evolution, and that's what my soul craves, because my soul has stayed in that period of darkness, of stagnancy. Dark night of the soul is one thing, right? You've started to really, dark night of the soul is one thing. Yeah, we all get that. Okay, it's painful, it's stupid, it's silly, and I mean, it's not stupid and silly. I mean, it's also sacred and everything. But yeah, I mean, you go through a whole lot of thing and everything, right? I get it. Dark night of the soul is something that it is. But but dark night of the soul just made me little happier inside, because my life was finally flowing. At least something was happening with my life. It had been stagnant for like 20 years of my life. I was in complete disconnection with my own self. Of course, I was getting a whole lot of signs, synchronicities, everything, and I just didn't want to listen because I was just so afraid of stepping out. My feminine was just so afraid of stepping out. So, is there something really scarier than dark night of the soul? Yes, stagnancy, not having anything, not life happening to you. That is worse than dark night of the soul. And twin flame journey was just a blessing, you know. It just makes you come out. It just made me come out of my own stagnancy in that sense. If you look at the bigger picture, that's how it works. You really always have to have a bigger picture. Twin flame journey was never about the union. I have already found my treasure. And my treasure is always growing, evolving, being in connection with God. And I don't think so there could be anything more beautiful than that. Union is special, is beautiful, and yes, it's also a part of the journey, you know, and for some it doesn't even happen, right? So that's never the point. So twin flame journey is not a puzzle to be solved. And trust me, twin flames have a really higher purpose, you know, because they understand life way more, you know, and it's just not about them. It's so much more than them. This twin flame journey is so much more than you yourself. It's about the life around you, always. And I've always sensed and experienced that on my journey, that it has always been more than me. This journey has always been more than me, more than myself. It's not a puzzle to be solved. It's not a destination to be achieved. It was never like that. Trust me, it's perfect. Wherever you are on your twin flame journey, it's perfect because it's happening to you. There's nothing more beautiful than pain happening to you sometimes. There's nothing more beautiful than things happening to you, because I have seen nothing happening to me, nothing breaking my walls, okay, for 20 years of my life. My life really started in 2016 when it's like I started breathing again. Oh my god, I'm really breathing, literally breathing when I remember that incident. It was the first time I felt a connection with God. You know, I started painting, I started moving, and it felt like something rushed inside me. And I'll always value that. There is nothing more I can want at that point of time in my life, and I got that. And at that point, I never knew it was so important to me, or it is going to be the most beautiful moment of my life. Until now, I do understand. I've awakened myself that much. I have undistracted myself that much. I'm so focused, you know, on my path that much that I know that nothing can be greater than that painting that I once made. That was like a fresh air of breath. That was the point when I really started connecting to God. I started connecting to the universe. And my life has been all ups and downs after that, right? And it still is. It's still going la 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 la. But the more it is going, I don't know, I'm feeling I'm finding treasures inside. I am finding treasures inside. And nobody will ever know that I'm happy. They can never understand my joy. They don't know what I've got. They will never know what I've got. Because all in their life they have known is something outside of them. You know how Saint Kabir was. It is said that he lived in destitute, complete destitute. He lived in poverty. He used to weave, and sometimes people used to throw him coins for his work, and sometimes they wouldn't. They would just pick up the work and they would just leave, and he wouldn't do anything about that. And people thought he was foolish, but nobody just ever knew how full and content he was from inside. People are so lost in Maya or the Matrix, they're so programmed. They've forgotten to, go inside and pick up their treasures, find their treasures. They've forgotten it. And it is such an art, it's such a maze, it's such a puzzle inside. Yeah. Twin flame journey is not a puzzle to be solved. It is not about union. Union is just a part of the puzzle, just one part of the thing. And it's so much more than the union. Twin flame journey is so much more about they themselves. It's weaving life through, people surrounding them, people in their energy field, everything. It's weaving in with the lives of others as well. It's just not about them. And yet, it is so much about them. The paradox of it, of course, exists, which is difficult to explain, of course. But yeah. So, I don't know, I just felt like doing this video, yaar. Wherever you are in your twin flame journey, it's a blessing. Because it's happening to you. I know there are many people who are happy sleeping, and there are people who come to me, they ask me, यार वो लोग तो ऐसा गलत कर रहे हैं, वो लोग तो उनके साथ वो तो ये गलत कर रहे हैं, फिर भी वो खुश रहते हैं, ऐसे कैसे यार, वो they have done this, and they're doing all kinds of wrong things in the world, and look at the character, look at how they are, and how still they are happy. यार समझ नहीं आता. People come to me, they say that. And they are sleeping so much, they don't even know that there is another way to life. There is another way to do life. And they will never know that. And then there are people, like people who come to me and they're like, wo aise kar rahe hain, waise kar rahe hain. You can still look at both the polarities, right? You can look at people who are sleeping. Ignorance can be a bliss, right? When I was in ignorance, when, I could not come into my feminine energies, when I cannot pull out my feminine energies, my feminine never felt safe to come out. At that point, I also didn't know that I was suffering. It was a feeling. But because, outside my reality was just going fine, I never had, an excuse to tell myself what is wrong with me. I never had an excuse to tell myself. I didn't know that there is something like you can feel shitty inside, even if all the things outside are good. I never knew something like this exists. And my whole life turned upside down. But still, there was a feeling of, oh my God, at least I'm learning, I'm evolving, I'm doing life, at least. It turned out to be that. So people who are, on the wrong paths, on the wrong journeys, who are unconsciously living, maybe doing wrong things and stuff like that, whatever you want to say, they will never know this side of life. they will never know the flip side of life, which is inside of them. And you know, who can see that people are doing wrong and still they're happy, and then you can see people who are not doing wrong, their external reality is shit, and but they still so you will find that they will have some kind of warmth around them, you know, people who are on the spiritual journey, some kind of warmth around them and everything. And you can just always choose and decide what you want to be in life. That's it. It's just a matter of choice, right? Yeah. I can experience deeper joys, you know, and they will never know a deeper joy. They will always know a superficial happiness. And I'm saying this because I have I have been in stagnancy for like 20 years. I'm saying this from an experience. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching the video.